Here we go. Here we go. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe button. Tell a friend. Tell a friend. Here we have another crazy story. Big U. Everybody knows about Big U by now. It's crazy though.
And where we are right now with the internet. But traveling back there, LA has seen a lot of changes. And we were probably the epitome of that dogma on us harming us and not even seeing.
So basically, Big U is basically admitting right now that he's basically his own downfall. Not only him alone, but a lot of these gang members are their own downfalls. They're the ones who decide to destroy California. Don't forget, most of their relatives before them moved to California to get a better upbringing. But these individuals didn't want to enjoy the sun. They didn't want to enjoy those palm trees. They did not.
Like, take me, for instance. It took me, and it took what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was teaching in the Nation of Islam to make me be able to understand what you're saying, to be able to receive it, to have see what a problem I was. Because I can't even talk about nobody else without talking about what a problem I was.
So Big U say he was the original menace to society. Don't forget, he's from California. It's a terrible thing. So Big U, he's been a problem basically his whole life. And he's still having a problem right now in his old age. He's one of those individuals you would say, you know what? He never learned it. He never understood. He never got it. If you know what I mean.
And that takes me in the reason why I still call myself Big U to this day. And it's a reason why I do that. Because I wanted people to see that it wasn't the name.
What was it?
That it was the problem. It was the decisions that this ignorant person was making. Okay. So to see that I can take that name and make that name mean something different, it shows the growth, the natural growth that a man is supposed to make.
Right.
From being an ignorant boy to being a man. To now being able to say.
He's right about that. There's supposed to be a growth. You're not supposed to think the same way as you did at 15. When you're 55 years old. Think about that.
This is what these people used to do in our neighborhood. They kept us down. But where did that come from and how is that? That goes back to the beginning. That goes back to slavery. The first thing we heard from our mothers and fathers, unbeknownst to them knowing what they stealing in us, is you can't trust a nigga. Don't take your car to the...
Pause that. No one's ever told me that. Maybe someone else told that to somebody else. Imagine that. Imagine talking to your son and using the N-word. Don't trust that N-word. Imagine that. What type of parents did Big U have? How did he grow up? I mean, maybe that's why he turned out the way he did. I don't know. Did they really say that to Big U, or is he making it up?
Don't trust this nigga to cook your food. Don't trust this nigga to... We instilled that in us. And then if you put that in play, the things that imperialized in our mind was Superman was white.
Okay.
Our teachers, our first educators was white. Or everything about...
I mean, is Big U making things up? I mean, Big U never went to a school where they had colored teachers. I don't know, maybe not. But Big U's going to try to explain right now why is it that he had to live a criminal life. Believe it or not, a lot of these individuals think they have to live criminal lives. The reason why, believe it or not, it's so easy to live a criminal life. It really is. All you got to do is wake up in the morning and decide, you know what, it's about time to do some crime.
Whiteness of America was white. You know what I mean? And we the people that just up from slavery. So it was hard, and it's still hard for us to see people naturally who are taught to hate each other, not see their hatred. We can walk about.
When I can't figure out why Big U keeps saying that. When was people taught to hate each other? I never heard that day in my life. Imagine that. Do me a favor. I want you to hate that person for me. You want me to do what? Yeah. I want you to hate that person for me. It's crazy.
And
it's crazy.
When we see a black man being accosted, we automatically in our mind gonna think, oh, he did something.
What if he did do something?
Where in white people's mind, who haven't grown up with that dogma of self-hatred that's been instilled from our parents, coming from where they come from, unbeknownst to them.
I mean, Big Meech grew up in a different time, I guess, But let's get back to a story. Hear what he's saying, but don't forget, he's in the feds now. They got him. They say he was just destroying his community. I mean, he was helping out some, but he was also destroying. So it's like he would do good and he would do bad. It's one of those things.
They don't grow up with that. So they naturally want to get involved. Like, what does he do? They're going to ask what he do.
What do you do?
Well, us, we're going to keep it moving out of fear of it happening to us. 2, out of where he may have done something. You know what I mean? So this is something that was instilled in us. And me, myself, coming in the culture. When Crippin' and Blood started, I'm a baby of that.
Okay.
And it was babies who started it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, this Crippin' thing wasn't started by no dudes who was 40, 50 years old who had an idea on how this thing should.
R.I.P. to Tookie, one of the founding fathers. Big U said he's about 10 years younger than Tookie. I know for a fact he knew what happened to Tookie. But still, he kept on promoting Crips. Matter of fact, he's probably in the same position where Tookie is right now. Without the death penalty. You know what I mean? You know what I mean.
And me growing up in L.A. and going back and forth to Chicago, I seen a little bit of how they had way more structure than the Crips and Bloods had.
He corrupted both.
They had way more structure, daily laws. They had daily rules. They had a structure of captains and lieutenants. So when you was dealing with the GDs and the gangsters, it was structure there.
Real criminals.
When it came to us and the Crips and Bloods, remember, we were started by babies.
Dysfunctional.
You know, the first dudes was in their teens. The ideal of it was something to be great.
It was?
But the people who started didn't have a chance to make it grow into what it was what they wanted it, or they seen it can grow, or maybe we can grow into it.
Oh, they went to jail.
And now you get the powers that be to get involved now. They earmark it.
They went to
the
jail.
FBI, the COINTEL, and they say, okay, this is what we need to prevent from growing, but we need to help grow at the same time. You know what I mean? Like,
okay,
we need this to grow because of the poison it'll become to black people, and how this thing will go out and kill millions and millions of black men across the globe. You know what I mean?
Wow, it's dangerous being a Crip. Basically, Big U saying his organization being a Crip gang member, leader, responsible for all, crimes all across the globe. I have to admit, heard there's Crips in China. You know what I mean, overseas. They hear what he's saying.
So when we look at what it became and the damage it done,
okay,
then we looking in hindsight, not even withstanding what guides us, and we looking at it right now. Look at the internet right now. I'm a black man. You're a black man trying to do something positive.
Okay.
I'm not preaching killing, gang banging, stealing, robbing, none of that.
Everything that Big U just said he's not preaching is almost everything he's being accused of. It's crazy how things could change. It's crazy how things do change all the time. If you were to hear Big U speak, you would think he's a good man. I think he's a good man too. But if you were to hear his friends talk about him as you did, they'll say he's a different type of person. Who is Big U? Only thing we do know for certain, he's a rolling 60s Crip gang member. That's what he said. That's what everybody's saying. He never wanted to change his name. He didn't want, erase his past. He wanted everyone here, oh, Big U? Okay, I know who that is. And it got him in trouble. Imagine that. I don't know a lot. Only thing I do know is crime don't pay. Big U. He comes off as such a good person. I think he is. But the crime that he's being accused of,